Alright, so if you listen to the last one, I said that the next T4Cast was going to be something kind of more heartfelt or something. I don't know. I didn't know what the words were for it, but you'll find out what I meant now, because here it is. Obviously, you already have an inclination of what this is about anyways, based on the title, but that's something I always forget about when I start these, because in the moment, I'm talking to you right now. The video isn't even finished. There's no title. It's not uploaded, nothing. So, as of right now, it's still anonymous. But anyway, here's what it is. It's basically about my daughter's maternal grandparents. So, her mom, my daughter's mother, is being difficult towards her own parents for... Well, it originally seemed like for no reason. She kind of went into it a little bit over time with me, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. But anyway, here's the situation. So, at least for my daughter, they've been in her life since day one. I mean, they were there at the hospital when she was born, and they've watched her and stuff. Especially in the beginning when she was still a baby, her mom, my daughter's mother, was working a job where she was out late because she was serving as a caregiver. So she was with this older woman until I think it was like midnight, and then someone else would come in and do like the midnight to 6 shift with her. So yeah, during those days, her mom used to stay at her place. This is getting complicated with these hers and stuff. Hopefully you can follow my story though. But anyways, her mom used to stay at her place. And then she used to just sleep over there too. She would sleep in my daughter's mother's bed, and my daughter's mother would just sleep on her couch. But yeah. So then, as the kids got older, they continued to be in their life. You know, they have so they have their home, and they also have a site at a campground. So the kids like to go camping. The campground is. There's stuff to do there. There's a pool there. There's a rec room. There's a little arcade, a little shop. I mean, the shop's mostly just like candy and stupid stuff. But for kids, that's awesome. You know, they like to walk down there and, you know, get $1 worth of 5-cent candies. You know, it seems like a lot to a kid. That's 20 candies you got. So there's that. And like they always try to include the kids in any kind of like, I don't know, like holiday extracurricular activities. Like her job will put on my daughter's mother's job will put on like a Easter event. It also puts on a Christmas event and I think a Halloween event. So, you know, she always tries to invite, and usually, see, what it used to be was Saturdays were my day every Saturday. Well, then her mother and I switched it so that way then it's every other weekend. So anyways, before, obviously, these events were on Saturdays, so that was always my time. So they'd have to ask me, hey, do you think you could bring her by to this? It's only a couple hours, blah, blah, blah. And I always did it because, like they said, it was only a couple hours, so it didn't really feel like that big of a deal. But, yeah, I mean, I still would do it if it was an option. But, yeah. So, anyhow, over the summer of 2020, I think it was mid-June, late June, somewhere in that range, June-ish, maybe even before that. Maybe I'm giving a little too much. Could have been late May, I don't know. Warm-ish weather, let's put it that way. My daughter's mother texted me, and she's like, or was it a text? It could have been in person when I was picking her up one day, who knows, but she's like, just going on a little rant, oh, my parents are never seeing the kids again. And so my daughter's mother is kind of that type of person. She's very difficult, vindictive, but as soon as things start going her way, then she forgets about their vindictiveness until things aren't going her way. Then, oh, I gotta punish you. It's annoying and ridiculous and just unnecessary and out of control, and ugh. So I figured that was the situation. Her parents, I thought, probably didn't give in to her for whatever she wanted. So her solution is, oh, I'm just going to tell you can't see the kids. But I figured it would last like, I don't know, a month tops, just to make a point or something. But no, it's been a real thing now. Like I said, this was back in either May or June. Here we are in February, and it's still going strong. So, yeah. So what ended up happening is, for me, I didn't really care. The way I saw it was, it's wrong, I think, and to put your kids in the mix of a problem that you have with your parents. Actually, I should back up a little bit. I forgot to tell what the story was. So basically what the situation was my daughter's mother has a motorcycle. Her and her boyfriend, they both have motorcycles, and I don't know if they were storing the motorcycles at her parents' place or if they were just having the motorcycles worked on, because her dad is a mechanic, so she always uses him for cheap to free work, when her vehicles need work. So I don't know if it was at their place because he was working on them, or if they were just storing them there for the winter, because at the time they didn't really have anywhere to put them. They recently bought a house in 2019, and they built a shed, but there wasn't a shed prior to that. So, and the point is the bikes are in the shed, so they didn't have that before. So I don't know what the situation was. All I know is the parents had the bike though, and my daughter's mother asked them to bring the bike by, I guess, or have it ready so she could swing by and pick it up or something. Some kind of situation like that. Well, I guess they had to have been working on it, because that's the only way the rest of the story makes sense. So anyways, I guess it wasn't ready yet, and they were like, sorry, it's not going to be today because we have plans to do something and we're not going to cancel them so we can finish working on the bike for you. So that was it. Then that sets her off. Oh, it's my bike. I want to get it now, so it should be ready. I shouldn't have to wait. Blah, 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 blah. You guys knew about this. You've had the bike there. I don't know what you waited for. And yeah, I mean, maybe to a certain degree you could say she does have some points like that. I don't know how long it was there. I mean, if it was literally there all winter, then yeah, they had several months to get around to fixing it up instead of waiting till the last minute. But at the same time, her getting her bike back is not that big a deal. Like, I don't know how often she rides it, but I know it's not that much. It's just there's not much opportunity for her to do so because the kids, like you can't really be on your bike and have little kids. I mean, they could get like a sidecar or something, but they don't have that. They just have one person bikes. I don't know if this is going to sound stupid. I was going to say I don't even know if they can fit each other on one bike, but I don't know if that's standard that bikes all come with like a back seat, so to speak, or not. So I don't know. I don't really know much about bikes. I don't have one. I never did. I mean, I have had bicycles, but not motorcycles. So anyways, though, yeah. And I don't think she ever rides it to work in the morning either, because on Fridays, every time I go and drop my daughter off Friday morning, there's no vehicles in the driveway, which means they took a vehicle. They didn't take a motorcycle. I think the guy that she's with will bring his bike to work. I know several times that when he had a different job and he used to get home before I was there to pick her up, the bike would be out front. So I know he takes his bike, but I don't think she does. I'm pretty sure my daughter's mother only rides it like 5 times in the summer max, and that's usually on the weekend. And it's like they do a weird setup where she takes the bike out just to be able to take it out, but then like they're both going somewhere together, so he takes a vehicle so that way then he can put the kids, if depending on the weekend, either kids or just their son. And so it's just kind of like a weird clunky situation. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make is it's not even like it's that important that they got the bike. Most likely it's just going to sit in the yard somewhere. So who cares where it's sitting in the yard? You know what I mean? You don't really have to throw a fit and say, oh, you're not going to see my kids then because you can't have a bike ready that I'm not even going to use. Like, calm down. So anyway, then from there it just started to get even more ridiculous. Like, it was funny because she sent me screenshots of their conversation, and I don't know what she thought it was supposed to prove, like I was going to be on her side or something. It was so ridiculously stupid and petty that it was just like, really? This is what you guys are fighting about, and this is the reason why they can't see the kids anymore? Really? But basically, it was just so dumb. They just kept being petty and one-upping each other, basically. That's what happened. So she says, oh, you're not going to see the kids if you don't have my bike ready. So then they retaliated and said something stupid like, oh, well, we're going to call DCF. So then she retaliated and said, so their home. The home that they live in, actually, they lost their last house. So the house they have now, I guess my daughter's mother either straight up owns it or put up a large portion of the money to help them out or something. I don't fully know. The only reason she has money in the first place isn't because she actually has money. She doesn't have a good job. She works a minimum wage job. Like, you ain't gonna have dick for money working a minimum wage job. The only reason she has money is A, because she was in an accident that left scarring on her face, which the scarring actually cleared up pretty well. I mean, you would never know now. I mean, yeah, if you're really staring at her face, you might be like, oh, what's those marks? But if you just casually look at her, it's not like she's disfigured or anything. At first, yeah, it was pretty brutal, but it healed up pretty well. But anyhow, I'm pretty sure she got a pretty significant settlement from that, because after that happened, a lot of stuff changed in her life. She got a new car, they got the house. Apparently she was able to buy her parents a new home as well. So I don't really know how much it was. I was estimating that she probably got 100,000. I gathered that just from bits and pieces that I heard here and there, because she's kind of open with things. She doesn't keep anything private, which is weird, but she does it in like a beat around the bush type of way. Like, she's open but private at the same time. So she might leave a check laying around that's paid to the order of her from the insurance company that says, $15,000 on it, and it's just there out in the open. Like, I'm gonna see it, obviously, because it's just right there on the table. She's not worried about hiding it, but see what I mean? It's subtle. She didn't say anything. It's just there, and I saw it. So I'm making that up. Also, I didn't see any checks for that amount. I'm just trying to give an example of like her weird, subtle, my business is out in the open. But anyway, yeah, so from stuff that she did say and stuff that I saw, papers laying around and what have you, I kind of pieced together that she probably got 100,000. Who knows? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe she got way more than I thought. I don't know, because even after all that, getting a new vehicle, getting a house herself, getting her parents a home, apparently, she still managed to have, from what I understand, like 15,000, 20,000 in the bank left over, which they invested in a new door on their house. Like, it's a back door. It's a sliding door. It's just a huge window type door. Apparently that was $15,000 right there that they paid for in cash. So I don't know. But anyways, it makes me mad though. Side note, just a little tangent here. It just makes me mad because I think about things and I'm like, what the F? Like, I tried to do everything right in life. I've never been drunk. I've never tried tobacco of any kind, chewing, smoking, none of it. I've never done drugs. I barely take any kind of like pills, meaning like Tylenol or something. Once in an extreme while, I'll do it. And, like, what was the last time I took something? It was, when I think I was having allergies, and it was just ridiculous. I was sneezing all the time, and I was all like stuffed up and stuff like that. So I was like, man, F this. And I got some antihistamine stuff that I took. But otherwise, I don't even take anything. I'm just, and I don't do anything with my life. Mostly, I just go home, and I'm a quiet guy. I'm by myself, and, I don't do anything. I'm not a problem. Like, it's like at my job, I'm quiet too. Like, so it's a joke when people see me, they say, good morning, rowdy, or good morning, noisy, or hey, here's the loud guy, or, stupid stuff like that, because it's a joke, because I'm so quiet. I just hang out in my office. I don't talk to anybody. I just do my own thing. Like, and it just makes me mad, because, like, I'm violently struggling in life, even though I tried to do everything right. Oh, mind you as well, I went to college because I thought that was supposed to be the smart thing to do. Got 3 degrees thinking that would matter and pay off. And instead, I'm viciously struggling and regret half my life choices. As I'm like, what's the point? I should have just been a raging alcoholic druggie just to see what it's like. And I should have not gone to college. Because what difference does it make that I tried to make all the right choices? And it just makes me mad, because now here's her. She really hasn't invested in herself at all. She used to drink, she tells me, when we were together, she tells me about her younger days when she partied all the time, drunk all the time. And I don't think she ever tried drugs or smoking, but still, she used to be like a raging alcoholic, it sounds like, with her friends and making stupid choices. And, and then look, she didn't invest in herself at all. Like I said, she works a stupid, crappy minimum wage job. And when I say crappy, I mean, it's literally crappy. The work that she tells me she does sounds so boring and tedious, and like her day must feel so long. It's a terrible job. Hence why it's minimum wage, though. And yeah, but she happens to get all this stuff because she got into a dang accident. Like, she got life handed to her because some idiot backed into her and scarred her face up. Now, I'm not saying I want to get into an accident and I want to have to be scarred up and deal with the hospital and blah, 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 just so I can get a better life. But I'm just saying, like, come on, I tried. Why is trying not good enough? But then somebody who just happens to have bad luck ends up getting their life completely turned around for the better. It's just annoying how everything plays out. Any mother effing ways. Where was I going before I went on that tangent? So I was talking about... Oh, yeah. So anyways, her parents. So that's how she one-upped them. She was talking about, oh, well, I'm going to evict you from your home then. And then after they one-up her, and they're talking about they were going to report her to, like, the local news networks. And I don't really know where they were trying to go with this, but that was their plan. Get them to the news networks and, I don't know, talk about how much of a crappy individual she is or something. I don't know. Some kind of weird plan. And then what was the one-up on that side? I know there was one more one-up from my daughter's mother after that. I think it was... what was it? It was definitely the I'm gonna kick you out crap. And what was the other part? I don't know, but there was some kind of stupid one-up again. And then I think the final one-up was her parents said, okay, well then we're just gonna take you to court for all this stuff, which then that ended up happening. So anyways, though, before we get to that, so what happened was, like I said, she hasn't been able to see the kids. So when I go home, I take back roads. So I used to take the highway, but I don't like the way to get to the highway from my daughter's mother's place. It's weird. It's like you got to drive up this steep hill after there's a stop sign. So you have to stop and then start accelerating up a fairly steep hill. I mean, it's probably a 7-degree incline. And probably more than that, actually. Probably like a 10. I don't know. It's fairly steep enough. And especially when you're coming from a dead stop, and now you got to start accelerating up a hill like this. And then when you get on the highway, the on-ramp is this giant loop. You basically go in a huge circle, so it's not even like you can really accelerate, you know what I mean? Because you're driving in a circle. And then when you get on the highway, you have like 200 feet of like getting on the highway lane before that's it. And then it's just highway. So then it's like you really got to start gunning it, so that way then if anybody's coming, you know, you're either going their speed or something, so then you're not causing accidents. So I don't like that on-ramp. It's way too much of a pain, so I don't use it anymore. I just take back roads. And so anyways, one of these back roads that I take is the road that my daughter's maternal grandparents live on now. And so they live on a side street of that side street. So they don't live directly on that side road that I take, but you can see their home on the side street from the main road. So anyways, we're going down there, and so back up a tiny bit. So my daughter's mother apparently has been putting up for sale signs all over the property. I think just directly on the building. I don't think she's putting like signs in the yard. It's just on the home itself, for sale. And she's doing that all the time. Obviously, they get home from work or whatever and take the signs down because that's stupid. But then she goes back and puts up another one. And yeah, I don't know if she's still on that or if she's finally given up on being ridiculous. But that's what she was doing for the longest time, putting up all these stupid for sale signs. So anyways, apparently one day she went and put up 2. So on this day, my daughter's like, oh, let's go by Grandma's house. I want to see the for sale signs. So now, mind you, it's summer. Our windows are open. And we drive by, and there's no signs, because obviously they're home, so they took them down. But 2, her dang grandma was sitting outside on the porch. Well, she didn't recognize my car, and she didn't recognize me or anything, because my car is, I don't want to say it's different, but like, I've had one car, you know, my Cadillac. I've had that for 6 years, basically my daughter's entire life up until when the car died. So that's what everybody's kind of used to. And so yeah, they're not super used to my car I have now. I mean, they don't see me all the time, so they're not going to be familiar with my silver car. They might be now, but they definitely weren't then. But what happened, Morgan sees them and then yells, "Hi, Grandma," out the window. And I'm like, you gotta be mother effing kidding me. You set me up. So now I'm in this weird situation where I'm like, what the heck do I do now? Now I'm busted that I was driving by. Like, I'm not really spying on their home, but like I accidentally was because Morgan wanted me to. And now she yells out the window, "Hi, Grandma," which just makes a weird situation for me because, you know, they're not supposed to be seeing her. And now she yells, "Hi." So anyways, where she lives, the road is like a big, huge loop. Like, you turn in, and then you can take a giant loop, just continue following the road, and then it comes out back to the main road again. So now I'm sitting at that stop sign at the end of that road, and I'm like, mother effer, what am I supposed to do? Like, obviously Morgan made her presence known. This is weird now that I drove by. So I'm like, oh, man, I'm in a weird spot now. I was like, then I'm sitting there thinking I should have just never turned down here and just ignored her with the stupid for sale signs. So I was like, well, I don't know. So I just went back and pulled up and let them say hi to Morgan. And we were only sitting there for, I don't know, like, probably felt like forever. It was probably only like 5 minutes, but it felt like forever just because I was like, oh man, I don't want to get busted. This is awkward and weird and not my plan. So, anyhow, yeah, though. So after that, her mom contacted me. She had my number in her phone. I mean, I haven't changed my number in a long time. I've had the same number for basically my daughter's whole life, I think. So anyway, yeah, she sends me a message talking about, I don't know, if we could ever meet up and that they could spend some time with Morgan. So I'm like, jeez, I'm in a weird spot now. So I was like, yeah, whatever, I guess. I mean, it wasn't going to be long, I figured, each visit. And I was hoping that things would change anyways so that I wouldn't have to be in this situation. But they still haven't changed. So anyway, yeah. So that's what we did. We'd meet up sometimes, just stupid random places, you know. One time we went out to a store, and that was it. Another time we went out to like what did we do? I don't know. We just did a few things though, and never anything long, like a couple hours tops. That's really all it was. Just enough for them to be able to see Morgan and say hi and give her some hugs and whatever. And it was only a few times too. This wasn't very often. It was probably 5 times total in the matter of 6 months. Like, that's not even once a month, so. But anyways, then what happened was on, what was it, Christmas Eve? Or close to Christmas Eve? Yeah, I think it was the weekend before Christmas Eve. We had it set up that they could come over on Sunday. Come over to my place on Sunday and just do presents. Which, speaking of the presents, some of those things irritated me. They got stupid big things, and I'm like, get a reasonable stuff. Like, you gotta keep in mind, my apartment is small. Like, to really put it into context, my bathroom is essentially a closet in my bedroom. So, obviously, I don't have very much space. So what do they get her? They get her a sled, they get her a guitar, they get her all these dumb, big, bulky things, and I'm like, come on, where am I gonna put a sled? You know where I put the stupid sled for now? It sits on my couch because I don't know where else to put it. But I don't want it on my couch. That's annoying. I mean, it does serve a purpose, kind of, because I don't want my cat on my furniture. So it's like, okay, this huge sled, I mean, it fills up my couch perfectly. It fits, like, size for size on my couch. So I'm like, okay, well, I mean, it works good for that, but it's annoying. And then the guitar is like, I don't know. The guitar isn't so much a big thing, it's just a potentially annoying thing. And it's like, don't get something like this that's going to open up annoying doors for me. You know what I mean? Don't get her something that I might have to hear her being obnoxious with it when she plays with it, which when she does use it, it's actually not bad. But I didn't know how she'd be at first. But then it also opens up other doors, like, what if she wants to get lessons? You know, now I got to deal with that, paying for lessons or something because you guys want to go get a stupid guitar. Like, just get her normal stuff. Toys, clothes. Oh, yeah, and speaking of clothes, too, they did get her some clothes. And it kind of irritated me again because I don't know what they were thinking, but she made a joke saying that I have no style. Like, it was serious, but it was said in a joking manner. And I was just thinking, I didn't say anything because I was just thinking, what are you talking about? Like, I had 15 million thoughts going through my head. I was like, no style. For one, like, I have a job where I have to dress business casual. So my point is I dress pretty fresh on the daily. Like, tell me I don't have any style. I'm pretty sexy all the time. Like, you guys don't ever dress up. Your daughter sure doesn't ever dress up. What are you talking about? I don't have any style. Second off, I started thinking, even if you're just talking about Morgan, so you're not directing that to me in general, you're just saying me with Morgan. Like, I have way more style for her than you guys do. They dress her up hideous, okay? They get her like these stupid, gross, ridiculously generic, they're not even sweatpants. I don't even know what the heck you'd call them. They're like a wannabe sweatpant. And they just look terrible. And they get her like some kind of hideous matching shirt. And that's what they've always put on her. She's always ugly looking. Like, she's ridiculously cute and put a tiny bit of effort in, and she'd look so adorable. And they always dress her up disgustingly like that. So when they say I have no style, I'm thinking, what do you think? You think you have style? You think that ugly stuff you put on her is style? Anyway, what happened? They got her some clothes, and it was some of that ugly crap. And I'm looking at it like, really? I don't have any style, but this is what you brought over? This is style? Half this stuff she's not going to ever wear with me because it's so hideous. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have style. And then... Oh, not and then. What am I saying? The only thing out of that was okay was... They did get one, like, outfit. It wasn't really an outfit, but they were able to find stuff to put together that kind of worked and made an outfit. Basically what it was a pair of pants with unicorns on them. And then they found a hoodie that also had unicorns. The colors and the styles of the unicorns, well, the colors of the clothing itself and the styles of the unicorns were slightly different, but it's still close enough that it worked pretty well. So that, I would say, was kind of cute. I like that outfit. I've put that on her a few times. But the other stuff, I'm like, yeah, I don't have style. Okay, what's all this hideous, nasty, disgusting crap that you call style? Like, there's one pair of black pants that they gave me. I'm never going to have her wear those, ever. They're too hideous. I wouldn't want to wear them. I'm not going to put them on her. One, that's embarrassing for her. I mean, she's probably too young to realize, but still, I feel like it's embarrassing for her. I wouldn't want to be seen in public with that on. And two, it's just embarrassing for me. Again, it's going to look like I bought that crap and put it on her. So it's going to look like I'm the idiot that has no style. And then there's a blue pair that they got for her, just like the black ones. But the blue ones are slightly better. I'm still not a fan. They're ugly. But I feel like if I couple it with the top properly and maybe with the right shoes, we could pull it off and it'll look okay. The black ones, you'd think the black ones would look better because black's like a neutral color. But it's just the material and the seams, and it's just the overall is just so low end. It's borderline homeless. I don't know. The blue ones are just slightly better. Just not much, but just slightly. Just slightly enough that I feel like we could pull it off, like I said, with the right combination of stuff. So, but anyways, yeah. So that's what I want to say about that. But anyways, so I let them come over, and they were hanging out in the living room, and I was just in my bedroom. I figured, I'd give them some time alone, so to speak. Even though my apartment's tiny, I'm basically right there still. But I was in my bedroom instead, just dicking around on my phone. I was probably doing my phone game dailies, playing DC Legends and Star Wars and all that. I know I was browsing around on Twitter a little bit too. So then around, I don't know, an hour into them being over, they wanted to go get, the plan was to get some food, so they went out to get some Chinese, and then they were going to come back and we were going to eat and watch a movie with her. I don't think we had anything picked out yet, but that was the plan, to watch a movie. Anyway, what ended up happening is my daughter's mother ended up showing up to my place. Like, my daughter's maternal stepfather, grandpa, what am I talking about? He had left to go get the food. So it was just me, Morgan, and her maternal grandma at my place when her mom showed up. And yeah, that was ridiculously awkward. The worst part too was I had a feeling Saturday night. I just had this strong feeling that her mom was going to show up. I don't know why. I just did. I was like, man, maybe I should cancel. Like, it was like 9 at night and I was in bed and I was thinking maybe I should just text them now and be like, maybe we should reschedule this. I just have a bad feeling. But then I was like, no, I'm just being paranoid for nothing. Her mom doesn't ever show up. And if she does show up, I know about it. Like, she doesn't just show up like, hey, I'm just here. So I was like, nah, I don't have to worry. I'm just being an idiot. And then look, it happened. Like, alright, so anyways, what the situation was, so Morgan's maternal grandmother smokes. So she was outside with her grandma. I don't know which way I'm going with this. But she was outside with Morgan, or Morgan was outside with her grandma, or whatever. It applies either way, I guess. She was outside with her. So anyway, what had happened is I took this opportunity to clean out my refrigerator. I had a lot of crap in there that I had to go through. A lot of old stuff. My fridge was starting to smell bad. Plus, I had a lot of drinks in there that I wasn't ever gonna finish. There's sodas, and soda gets flat and yucky, so I just have to go through my fridge. So while I was basically in there by myself, I was like, well, I'll just take advantage. There's not too much that I have to throw away, so this will give me enough time to clean it out a little bit. So that's what I was doing. Well, as I'm cleaning out the fridge, there's this aggressive banging on my door. So when they went outside to smoke, they went through my hallway because I think the side stairs were slippery. Like, I wasn't even using them myself, so I had them come through the hall, so that's the way they went out, obviously. Well, anyways, there was some banging on my side door, which is my main door, and I really thought there was one of two scenarios. First scenario was maybe it was my mom, and that she was banging viciously just as a joke. Like, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be weird because now I got all of them here. Not it wouldn't be weird like tensions or anything. It just would have been kind of awkward. Like, I'm trying to hang out with my mom, but then Morgan's maternal grandparents are there as well. It would just be weird. Like, they've never really hung out together, so it would be like I'm the median. Like, I'm the only one that has like a link between them all. So it would just be kind of awkward. And then I thought, what if it's her mom? But I was like, no, there's no reason for it to be her mom. Why would she be here? And I opened the door, and of course, it's her dang mom standing right there. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So the worst part is, too, she didn't just show up per se. Like, it's not like she just showed up out of nowhere like, surprise, motherfucker, I'm here. She was hitting me up, texting me, asking me what I was doing because there was this book that Morgan was trying to find. It was called, what's it called, Guts? There's Guts, Smile, and Sisters. Yeah, so Guts. Guts was the first one that she got through her mom, and then we ended up finding Sisters and Smile over time at Target. So I bought her those two as we found them. So anyways, yeah, she had found that book and wanted to drop it off to Morgan just as like a surprise, like, look, I know you've been trying to find this, look what I found you. Yeah, well, she called me a few times, she sent me texts, and I didn't get any of it. And it's like, go figure. I was on my phone practically the whole time. Like I said, I was doing my phone games, I was dicking around on Twitter, and like during the spread of when I put my phone down, that's when all this happened. I had to have had my phone down for, I don't know, 15 minutes, and that's when all this went down. 15-minute spread. So I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. The thing is, too, is her mom has a cell phone watch for Morgan. She's had it for a while. She's on like her third one now. She started out with a really childish one. Oh, no, maybe she's on her second one. She had a really childish one, though. It was, wicked child-proof, like waterproof, drop-proof, all that. And it was large. Now she's got a more sleek one. It's, kind of like a Apple Watch. It's thinner. It's still sturdy because it's made for kids, but it's less sturdy than the original one. Like, the original one was super heavy-duty. How they make things like that for kids because kids are not careful. Typically. Morgan's always been pretty okay, though. You never really had to worry. But still, she got her the kid one just because she is a kid, so. But anyways, yeah. So what happened with why we didn't hear her phone going off? Because it was in her bag. Usually what happens is Saturday, she wears the thing all day because I pick her up with it on, she just leaves it on. But Sunday, she never puts it on. It comes off at night when it's time to go to bed, and then she just never puts it back on Sunday, which is fine by me because the stupid thing has GPS tracking in it, which she has the phone linked up. She has that phone linked up to her phone. My daughter's mother has my daughter's cell phone watch linked up to her phone. This is getting complex trying to talk about all these hers and she's. So anyway, yeah. And then she can track where we are. And it's just annoying because I feel like it's none of her business to know what we're doing or when or why. Like, it's annoying. And it has been annoying at some times. Like, in the past when she was younger, I don't know how many years ago it was now. Probably, I don't know, several. 3 or 4 by now. But anyways, we had gone out to Chuck E. Cheese. How long ago was it? I feel like it's maybe even longer ago than that. Point is we went out to Chuck E. Cheese for her birthday. It was a Thursday night. And yeah, so Thursday night, maybe it was 2018, 19, 20, 20. So we're going on 3 years this year. I mean, it's been 2.5 years, I guess. So anyway, though, yeah. We went out to Chuck E. Cheese, and we were still out. So we didn't eat at Chuck E. Cheese because Chuck E. Cheese is ridiculously expensive, and the pizzas they give you are tiny. I mean, for the price to size ratio, it's insane. And then if you factor in taste, like, I'm not saying Chuck E. Cheese makes gross pizzas, but I don't think it's that fantastic either that a 3-inch diameter pizza should cost $10. I mean, I could see if it was outstanding, like the sauce they use and everything, then it'll be like, all right, they got a point. No, it's ridiculous. So we don't eat there usually. I ate there once with her. I think it might have been, when was it? I think it was back in March or so, late February last year when I took her, right before COVID, because I was struggling financially and I finally had money again. So that's when I took her, and I was like, you know what, we haven't even been here for a while, and I think she wanted to eat there, so I was like, I'll just do it. Not a fan of the price, but it is what it is. This is for her. If this is what she wants, then this is what we can do. So, yeah, but it was ridiculous. It was like an hors d'oeuvre for $13. So anyhow, we had gone to a McDonald's that's nearby instead. Not like McDonald's is cheap. It might have been in 2018, actually. Who knows? They're insanely expensive now, but maybe back in 2018 they were fair. I don't know. Anyways, though, so we went there, and we were eating, and then that's when she called. I think she called Morgan's phone to ask what we were doing and blah, blah, blah. And, like, she just made this weird, obnoxious scene over the phone, over her daughter's phone, like causing stress for her, saying that she was going to call the police on me for having her out. And it was the most stupidest thing. And it caused stress and ruined the night for nothing. All because that stupid thing has to have dumb GPS so she saw where we were. So a lot of times when I do actually go out, I try to remember to have her leave her watch at home, just so her mom can't be a pain in the butt. Because then if she does spy, she'll think we're home. I mean, for the most part, anyways, she should know I'm pretty boring. I don't want to say I'm boring. I don't have money to be fun. Being fun takes money. Except for in summer. I mean, you can go to the park. That's free. But, like, if you actually want to do something, you want to drive somewhere, you want to spend a day in New Hampshire, yeah, well, that takes money. Even if it's just a day trip. How does it take money? Well, you need money to go up there for the gas. You need money while you're up there to eat. It's not like you can just go in your kitchen and whip something up. You're not home. So, you know, and I don't have money like that to just be casually wasting. So, anyhow, that's why I'm kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like celibate, you know? Celibate means somebody who's not with anybody but not by choice. So what would be a word like that who stays home? I'm a homebody celibate. I don't know. You know the joke I'm trying to make, though. So anyhow, if she were to check in on the watch and it says we're home, she'd believe it anyways. She wouldn't know if she was spying. So, anyway. The watch, though, like I was saying, so Sundays, she usually never puts it on. I don't tell her not to put it on. Yeah, in the back of my head, I don't want her putting it on because she doesn't need to be getting tracked for no reason. It's annoying. But I don't tell her to not put it on. She just never does. Which, again, is fine by me. So anyways, what happened was her watch was in her bag, and so her bag has a couple compartments. There's the clothes compartment, and then there's like the accessories, if you will. I don't know. She usually puts like toys and just random stuff in there. Well, normally, if I put her watch away, I'll put it in the accessory part. Just because I think, well, you don't really want dirty clothes and like underwear on your watch and stuff. That's kind of yucky. But my daughter doesn't think like that. She just sees it as, well, it's part of my clothes, and she just chucks it all in the clothes part. So, why didn't we hear the phone going off? Because it was in the bag, under some clothes, and it was, okay, So it was in the bag under some clothes, and it was in my bedroom. So it wasn't really in like a normal area that you'd hear it going off. Normally it's in the living room, but because I had guests over, obviously I cleaned up the living room a tiny bit, so the bag had to get out of the way to make room, because we usually just leave it on my rocking chair. Well, so people can sit, I had to clean that up. So yeah, we didn't hear the watch, and go figure, it must have happened right after I put my phone down that she starts blowing me up. So then it was just super awkward, because then I'm like, oh man, now everyone's gonna think that I set this up. You know, instead of realizing I was just in my room entertaining myself while they were hanging out with Morgan, they're gonna think like I was hitting up her mom, like, hey, guess who's here? And I was like, they should know though that's not the case, because why would I want to deal with this extreme awkwardness? But yeah, that was just incredibly awkward. So then, like, her mom's like, did you invite them? And I was just saying no, because she's a pain in the butt, and I didn't know if she'd be annoying and like try to take Morgan and be like, you're not seeing her, and then make us have to like start over with court, all because her parents were over for Christmas, basically. I don't know. Well, I'll get into what I was just gonna say. I said I don't know because I had a new thought, but I'll get into it later. Anyways, so then after that, obviously we didn't see them. I felt bad for them too, because like I said, they just went out and got food. I think it came to like $50. They had $50 of Chinese food, and then it was kind of ruined. They went home with it. So yeah, I'm sure they ate it, but like, that wasn't the point. The point was to be all four of us digging, and not just them two. I'm sure if it was just them two to hang out with themselves for the day, they wouldn't have dropped $50 in Chinese food. So anyways, yeah. That was... So fast forward a tiny bit. They ended up getting a court date. And actually, I think I knew about the court date well in advance. It just took forever for the person to serve us. And, yeah, they got a court date. And then the court appearance happened. I didn't attend because I just didn't want to be involved. I know I kind of was involved by letting them hang out and see Morgan still, but I didn't want to be involved like that. You know, I didn't want to sit there and have to... Basically, I'd have to pick a side at that point. I didn't want to. I wasn't on Team Morgan's mom, and I wasn't fully on Team them. I'm more on Team them than Team Morgan's mom, but like I don't really want to have to be on a team. At the end of the day, I still got to deal with these people, so I just need what's best for me. You know what I mean? If I'm on their team, then I got to deal with her mom being a pain in the butt to me every single day. And if I'm on her team, I don't really have to deal with them. But like at the same time, I'm going against what I actually believe. I'm not on Team her mom. Like I feel like it's just unnecessary what they're doing, or what her mom's doing, because it's kind of like, I think I said this before. When I was a kid, my mom made it so that we didn't see her mom anymore. But I feel like there was a valid reason for it. It's because she used to always cancel on us last minute. You know, she would call, make plans, and then literally like that day, like a few hours before she was supposed to pick us up, she'd cancel. And that happened all the time. Now, as a kid, I don't remember it bothering me. I guess I got to the point where I just kind of expected that to happen. So I never really got too excited and then let down. But for my mom, she just, you know, being older, I guess she had more emotional capacity to understand what was going on, and just realized like it wasn't fair to us to always say, yeah, I'm going to get the kids, and then cancel on us last minute. Plus, to a certain degree, it was almost like she didn't really care about us either. My grandma, because you know, again, when I was a kid, I never thought anything of this, but my mom always saw it as like disrespectful and gross and stuff. But she used to mostly only let my brother and I play on the rug by the door. Like, she didn't wear shoes in her place like I don't, and yeah, that's basically where she'd keep the shoes. So basically, we were playing on like a dirty shoe mat. Again, as a kid, I never really thought anything of it, but I guess looking back at it now, you know, that is kind of screwed up. So, you know, it made sense though when my mom was like, you know what, forget it, you're not seeing the kids. For this situation, I just feel like it's just wrong. Like, she says you're not seeing the kids because of a motorcycle, basically, and just, I don't know. So that's only why I kind of stepped in and let them see Morgan here and there. But as far as court goes, I didn't want to be involved like that, so I didn't attend the thing. I figured I didn't have to anyways. At the end of the day, like, from what I understand, she said that I was gonna have to. Her mom said I was going to have to because she had a lawyer. So what I did is I wrote the lawyer a letter and I said, look, you're telling me, because she said that he said I had to make an appearance because me saying that I don't care either way wasn't a sufficient answer. So I wrote sort of a snarky letter, but it was accurate. I said, look, don't tell me that I can't say that I don't want to be involved isn't an answer, because it is an answer. That's my answer. This is a situation that doesn't really affect or involve me. It's Morgan's mom with her parents. Why do I have to have a say in the matter? If I don't want to have a say, I shouldn't be forced into having a say. Like, this is my say. You know what I mean? Don't tell me that can't be my say. And it went on for a little bit more. I mean, I made it 2 pages long. Obviously, it was a lot more intelligent than me just repeating myself over and over and over again like that. But that was the gist of it. Like, I was just like, don't tell me that I can't say I don't want to be involved. Don't make me be involved. That's stupid. Like, I was thinking about it in reverse. Like, if it was me with my parents and I didn't want them to see Morgan anymore, I wouldn't expect Morgan's mom to have to be involved. That's stupid. That doesn't really affect her. It's not her family, you know what I mean? Like, that's none of her business to be weighing in and having a say. So that's what I felt like for me. Like, it's not my business to be weighing in court and having a say. Like, so anyway, after I said that, then the lawyer was like, oh, well, I guess he's not going to be cooperative anyway, so it's not going to matter if he says anything or not, because it's just going to be the same end result. And it was like, yeah, you idiot. That's basically what I said in the very beginning. But you made me waste the time to write you this stupid letter. So anyhow, fast forward a tiny bit to court, because that was about a month of a window before, when we finally got served and when their court date actually was. And yeah, I guess they lost in court, her parents, my daughter's mother's parents. God, there's too much of a lineage going on here to keep it straight who I'm talking about. I mean, it's straight in my head, but if you're listening, you don't know who I'm talking about. You just hear her parents and you're like, well, whose? So anyways, yeah, I guess they lost. They had 2 court hearings because, technically there's 2 kids with different dads. So there was a hearing for each kid. Really, I think that's stupid. At the end of the day, it should have just been 1 hearing. It's the same mom, and the whole problem is with her parents. You know what I mean? Why do you have to have separate hearings just because there's separate dads? That's dumb. I mean, I get it, but it's still dumb. You could have just clumped it all together as one. Like, I don't know. So anyways, yeah, they lost both. So they got no visitation. Basically what they tried to do is they tried to go to court and they wanted to try to get some visitation with the kids. They wanted it to be set up like how it always has been. They had the kids Friday nights, basically after school, if you will, on Friday nights until Saturday morning. Usually around, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, somewhere in that window. Because if it was my weekend, then I picked up my daughter at 9. And usually her mom was there too to pick up the son anyways. So it was probably the same on the weekends I don't have her as well, 9 o'clock. I'd assume, why would it be different, So anyway, yeah, they lost. So then it just got weird because what had happened is, now it gets a smidge deeper. So apparently the parents have been frauding my daughter's mother, and they've been signing up for things using her name. And one of them was gas and electric bill or something, some kind of power bill. So my daughter's mother called to cancel it because she didn't sign up for that. It's, she didn't want something in her name that she never even okayed. Like, they forged her signature and everything. Like, she saw a paper that showed her signature on a paper, and she was like, that's not even my signature. They forged it, and this company accepted it. Which, not to go on a tangent again, but, I always thought when you have to sign things, like when you go to the store and they make you sign the receipt, I always thought, this is pointless. What's the point of me signing this? Nobody's verifying it. You don't know if this is my signature or not. Like, this does nothing that I'm signing this paper. Okay, cool, yep, let me put my name on here. It means nothing. Chances are the place is just throwing the receipt in the trash anyway, so why are you making me waste my time to sign it? It's even more annoying, though, I think, with debit cards, because I feel like the whole point of signing something was supposed to be back in the day when credit cards were really starting to get big, right? So you signed it like to authenticate that, yes, I will pay this. But when I pay with a debit card, I'm like, it's paid. You already have the money. This is like cash, just on plastic instead of paper. So why do I have to sign a receipt saying I will pay you? You already got the money. I did pay you. That would be like if I paid cash and you still made me sign the receipt. Like, we made the trade. It's complete. Why do I have to sign this receipt? Ugh. Anyhow. So, yeah. So, she called and got this stuff canceled. Well, then her parents called the cops on her for doing that, which was a weird situation when you really think about it. Like, how do you call the cops on somebody else because you were frauding them? So, I don't know. That's an inception of weird. So anyways, apparently she got arrested too. I don't fully know the details. I know my daughter sort of saw what was going on. She was on the bus and she said, the stupid bus driver wouldn't let me get off the bus because the cops were there. So I had to wait until after. Then the bus driver called mom and then she was able to come pick us up. But yeah, so I don't know. Her mom, when I got there to pick up my daughter though, she said that she was arrested. So I don't know. It couldn't have been for long. I mean, what did they do? Put handcuffs on her, make her sit in the car, and then they talked to her, and then they said, oh, okay, and then let her go? Like, I don't know. I don't know how arrested she really was. I mean, at the end of the day, she was being frauded, in all fairness, so, like, how are you going to arrest somebody because they're being frauded? That's weird. So, yeah. So, anyways, that same exact day, that's when her parents, her mom, my daughter's maternal grandmother, texted me saying, hey, how is everything? Is Morgan really not want to see us? That must have been what was said during court. Does she really not want to see us? And I don't remember if she asked, when do you think we could see her again or something? She might have. Maybe can we set something up sometime soon so we can see her again? I don't know. But I just ignored it because I was like, for one, there was just an incident that day as it was. I was like, man, I'm not trying to talk to you after we just went through this weird situation with the police. Like, this is wicked awkward. Like, I'm not trying to get busted by Morgan's mom because I'm talking to you after you called the cops on her, and just bad timing. Like, if it happened the day after, that was a Tuesday, so like if it was Wednesday when she contacted me, I would have responded, but just in that moment I was like, man, this is weird. And I just never responded because I was like, well, now I'm too late. I'm not going to respond now. I'm a day late. It's just weird too. So there's that. And then the second thing was just, I just feel like I'm in a weird situation now. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to say no that they can't see her, but at the same time, I'm like, technically they went to court and they lost, which means the court deemed that they don't need to see the kids. Now, I wouldn't say that there's an official court order in place because there's not, but to a certain degree, that was a court ruling that said, no, you're not going to get time with the kids. You know what I mean? Like, there's no official court order saying that, but at the same time, the court did deny them their request. So to a certain degree, like, you know what I mean? How do I explain this? Like, there is some kind of court power behind them not seeing the kids now. So I feel like if I were to meet up with her, like, am I sort of defying a unwritten court order? Like, I don't know. Then I feel like, does this just make things complicated for myself as well? Like, I'm not trying to get involved with being in trouble or anything just because I'm letting Morgan see her grandparents. So I'm like, man, this becomes a whole new level now of weird. Before it was just an issue between them and Morgan's mom. Now it's like, it's on another level, So I don't know what to do. Like, I don't want to say no because, like I said, I feel like the situation is very stupid. But at the same time, like, the game's changed. Like, I don't think I have as much liberty to be like, yeah, we can hang out, tomorrow or whatever. So it's a weird situation now. So anyway, like I've said 62 million times, it puts me in an uncomfortable situation and I don't know what to do. But anyhow, my daughter's mother has revealed a few things to me that I was unaware of before. See, my daughter's mother loves to be problematic and will blow up out of nowhere and hold grudges forever over the stupidest little petty things. So in this situation where where she's saying that her parents aren't going to see the kids, I figured that was one of those situations. Oh, you're not going to give me my bike when I ask for it? You're not seeing the kids then. I thought that's what it was. Just some stupid, petty, ridiculous reaction to a minor problem. But she did reveal to me that there was a few more things. Like, apparently it's been building up over time and she's just been kind of ignoring it, and then like this instance was kind of like the last straw, if you will. So anyways, one thing she told me was that, so her mom smokes, obviously I know that, but she says she always tells her not to smoke around the kids. I mean, at the end of the day, she really only has the kids one day a week anyways. It's Friday night. So if you have to change your lifestyle for one day a week for your grandkids, I mean, I don't really see that as a problem, you know? It's not. So anyways, she says, but that's never the case. If she goes somewhere with the kids, she smokes in her car, and she's got the window open, a tiny crack. You know, the stereotypical open a crack, like that's going to do anything. And she puts the cigarette there, right in the crack, basically. But at the end of the day, she's still basically smoking in the car. You know what I mean? It's like, when you blow that smoke out, it's in the car. Okay, so you get the cigarette burning out the window. Whoop-dee. When you take a drag, it's not going out the window. So, and I agree with that. That's a problem. I wouldn't like that either. I don't smoke. I wouldn't, I wouldn't want her around that. I don't do it. I don't want her subjected to it. I mean, I remember when the people on the second floor used to smoke, and it would kind of come up in my apartment, and I hated that because for some reason it always went in my daughter's room. It was very concentrated in her bedroom. I don't know why, but that's where it always really was, and it made me mad because, I always thought, this is her room, dang it. Like, one, I don't want her room smelling like this, but two, I don't want her subjected to it. So obviously I don't agree with that as well. So I'm like, okay, you got a valid point there. Then she says same thing with at her home. So she tells her, go out on the porch if you need to smoke. She's got a decent enough sized deck, porch, whatever you want to call it. I don't really know what the difference is. I guess it's a porch. It's got a roof on it, kind of. It's like open, but it's got a roof, so you could sit out there while it's raining. So I guess it's a porch, right? I think decks are just a platform, no roof or anything. So yeah, porch. Anyways, so she tells her, go out on the porch if you want to smoke. But no, what she does, she stands by her door. She's still inside, stands by her door with the door open a crack. I don't even know actually if the door is open a crack. It might be the screen. So the door is shut, but they got the screen in the door still, and she just stands there by the door with the screen. And it's like, okay, well, you're still smoking inside. Like, because you stand by the screen, that's not doing anything. Especially if there's a breeze that's blowing this way, blowing towards the door, then the smoke's just coming in more still because the wind's pushing it. So I'm like, okay, you do have a point with that one as well, that I understand why you'd be frustrated. Then also, her dad smokes weed. Now, apparently, I guess it's medicinal marijuana, but I don't fall into that crap. I don't care if it's medicinal. At the end of the day, in my eyes, you're smoking weed, you're doing drugs, you're getting high. Like, it's the same thing. I don't care if you want to put a label on it. That, it's medicinal. You're still getting high. You're still getting baked. It's still weed. Like, you're still doing the crap. I don't do it in general. So, it's still something that's altering you, inhibiting you in some way. But anyway, the point that my daughter's mother had is, he will leave his paraphernalia, I guess like a pipe or something, just kind of laying around on the counters. Like out in the open, it's not even trying to be hidden, and it's like, oh, whoops, I didn't mean that for it to show that much. No, it's just there. Like he just got done using it and just put it there. And she always said, I don't like that. Don't leave it laying around out in the open like that. I don't want the kids to be able to see or even touch it. I mean, my daughter's pretty smart. I don't think she would bother with it. She'd probably look at it and just think, oh, that's Papa's. But her brother's kind of dumb. He would be somebody who would grab it, and granted, he's not going to do anything like try to smoke from it or whatever, but still, he's going to grab it, and like, it's just the point. She don't want him handling that. It's something that he shouldn't be handling anyways. So that's something else. And she says sometimes she'll actually leave it laying around while it's like ready to go. Like it's got weed in it, ready to go. And so obviously that makes her frustrated too. Like, geez, you just have drugs laying out in the open. I don't care if it's medicinal or not. It still counts as drugs. And you just got that laying out in the open for the kids to see. So there was that reason that she also kind of had brewing. And then in conjunction with that, I guess there was one time where... so it must have been a weekend that my daughter was with me. So I guess her and her boyfriend wanted to go out and do something. Either they wanted to go out and do something, and they just didn't want to have kids, or they had to go out and do something and just thought it would be easier to not have kids with them. In either case, they had their son stay with her parents for a few hours. So anyways, she says later when they came back to pick him up, like, so this was at the campground. I forgot to say this. So this was in the campground, so I assume it's in the summer because they were at the campground in the summer. And so there's a few people. There's them, and then there's some other family members they have and some friends that they've made at the campground and such. So anyways, she said a bunch of them were sitting around outside, around like their fire pit, and they're just smoking weed, passing it around. Hence goes back to what I'm saying about the screw the medicinal label, because see, even if it was your medicinal stash, you're still using it recreationally with your homies, so it's clearly not being medicinal in that case. It's fun or whatever. So anyway, yeah, she says they're all sitting around the fire smoking that crap, and there's her son sitting around as well with them. Obviously he's not smoking it, he was probably 3 or so at the time, but yeah, they're just doing all around him, and she's like, are you guys serious right now? Like, there's a little kid right here, and you thought it'd be a good idea to light this crap up? You couldn't have waited until like now when I'm here to get him? So I'm like, okay, you do have a valid point with that, in saying that your parents shouldn't be able to see the kids. Like, there are points. I guess at the end of the day, what she's trying to make is that they are kind of irresponsible. I didn't realize that they were so irresponsible like that. I don't know. I never picked up that vibe. Oh, that's another thing too that she said. That so when they're at the campground, I think I've mentioned this earlier. I made this video in 3 parts, 3 different days. So I don't remember now. In all, it's been over the course of almost a week. I think it's 5 days spread, and I've done this over 3 different days. So I don't remember what I said in earlier parts, but I think in one of the earlier parts I mentioned how the campground has, the pool, and there's a little shop, like it's just a candy shop, and there's the arcade. Well, anyway, she says that her mom will let the kids wander around the campgrounds without them, like just freely wander down to the shop and get some candies and then come back. And like, it's, so I guess it would be like my daughter, their son, and my daughter's cousin. So the cousin is a year older, so I guess she's 9 now, but still, we're talking, they haven't seen the kids since last year, so that means that one was 8, my daughter was 7, and then the brother, he would have been 4. And yeah, she's just letting them walk down to the candy store by themselves. So the problem with this is, where her parents' camper is right near the entrance. I mean, you pull in, and like it's the first lot, just about. I guess actually technically it would be the second lot. The first lot is a family member though of theirs, so it's still their family that owns the first 2 lots, really. So anyways, so in relation to where their camper is, I mean, the candy shop's like in the middle of the campground, so it's a decent enough distance away from their camper. I mean, it's not like they could be standing outside and see the kids. It's far enough that you're not going to see the kids. Like, they're going to vanish over the horizon, so to speak. So that's one issue she has. Like, you're just letting little kids walk around. Granted, it's a campground. It's not like there's cars driving around and stuff. I mean, there could be, but for the most part, the cars are only going 5 miles an hour tops. You're on a campground. It's basically like a parking lot, and there's people walking all over. You can't be just cruising. But still, they are little kids. And second off, apparently what had happened at that campground recently-ish, I mean, we're talking, this is news from June 2020 or prior, but because that's when she's told her parents that they weren't going to see the kids anymore. But anyway, apparently though, there was a person who was at the campground. Now, I don't know if they were renters there, or if they knew people there and so they were hanging out with the people, or what the situation fully was, but apparently there was somebody there who was either going around abducting kids, or was like a registered sex offender or something. And they had gotten arrested, so they weren't they're not at the premise anymore. But still, the point is my daughter's mother was saying, like, well, we know about this. If it happened once, who's to say it couldn't happen again? What if there's another one that just didn't get caught yet, and you're just letting the kids casually walk around by themselves? Who cares if the oldest one is 8? Like, that's still young. It's a kid. It's not like the oldest one is 15. Like, okay, still a kid, but like much bigger. It's much more, better defenses or whatever. Probably has a cell phone if need be, etc. It's not little kids, But yeah, so I guess there was that problem as well. So it's just all these things were kind of accumulating, and that's why she ended up choosing to not let them see the kids anymore. I don't know. I know, like I said, that they've been in the kids' lives since like day one, so there's that aspect that I'm like, well, I mean, it does seem a bit much to just say you're not going to see them. Like, maybe just downgrade it to supervised visits then. I'm never going to leave the kids alone with you anymore. If you want to see them, then I'll go to your place and hang out, or you can come to my place. But, something a little more chill, not so rigid. You're not seeing them. Like, I don't know. It just seems a bit much. The only thing I will say that's a positive for me is it's almost like a win. See, this whole entire situation I've hated since day one with my daughter. Not because of my daughter, but because of how her whole entire family has always acted. They've always treated the situation as like a competition. Like, oh, there's our side and your side, and we need to win. And that's what it's been like since day one, with my daughter's mother, with her family, with everybody. That's how it always is. Like, they always try to put me in a negative light. You're a scumbag, you're a loser, which I have no idea why they think that I'm a scumbag. Like, bluntly, it is what it is. Like, her side of the family has a lot of scumbags. They really are. I mean, she has one, I guess it's one of her aunts, like, openly allows and knows that her 13 and 14-year-old kids smoke weed, and she doesn't care. And when I say openly, like, she knows, like, I'm pretty sure she supplies them weed to smoke. And I'm like, really? And the worst part is she's one of the biggest offenders at looking down on me. And I'm like, what? How could you have ever looked down on me when this is what you do? Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, a lot of that family is like, I guess you could say white trash. A lot of it. I'm not going to say all of it because some of them I don't know. And some of them are kind of borderline. Like, it's because of the family kind of rubs off on them. But I wouldn't say they really are white trash. It's just, it's by association. So, but yeah, some of them are very low-class individuals. But for some reason, that whole family has always kind of looked down on me. Like, I'm no good. Oh, I'm a low-life scumbag. And it's like, what are you talking about? Maybe I'm not super successful in life, but at the end of the day, there's nothing that bad about me. I've never been drunk in my life. I've never tried drugs. I've never smoked. I have 3 college degrees. I don't go out partying. I've never been to clubs. If I'm not working or with Morgan, then I'm just home doing my own thing. Half the time, I'm just dicking around on my phone, maybe on Twitter or just playing a phone game or something, and I got a movie on, and I'm literally doing nothing. Like, there is nothing about me that's really, like, that bad, you know what I mean? And these people always have looked at me like I'm just the scum of the earth, and like, ugh, I wish you'd just sign your rights over. You don't belong in this child's life. Like, nobody's ever said that, but like, that's the vibes. And it's just like, why do they think this? And it's just always made me irritated, because like I said, that one that allows her kids, her 13 and 14-year-old to smoke weed, has been like the biggest offender. Every time we go to a birthday party and I see her, she's always got this vibe. Like, if she glances over me, it's just like this total look of disgust. And it's like, who are you? Well, why don't you go home and smoke weed with your kids? Because, I'm so bad, right? And like, she just looks like absolute trailer trash too. Like, looking down on me, though, like I'm something so bad. It's so annoying and stupid. So anyway, the point I'm trying to get at is that's how it's always been. We've always had to treat Morgan's situation as competition. Like in the beginning when we were in court, for me to try to get some visitation set up and what have you. It was always like everything had to be twisted in a way that was a win for them. When child support got set up, it's a win for her. When my visitation was only Tuesdays, Thursdays, especially in the beginning, it was only 2 hours. 2 hours on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I forget what my time frame was. I think it was 4:30 to 6:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then the weekend, I think it was like 12 to 2. Ooh, that's a win. He gets no time. Then it changed. Oh, no, I think first it was I had supervised visits. I had to go over and be with my daughter's mother. So that was a win. Oh, good. You can't even be alone with her. I'm right here. Then when it changed and I could be alone with her, it was only 2 hours. So, okay. And there's always been something like that. And like, they've always tried to throw it subtly, not outright, but just subtly throw it in my face. Like, ooh, we have a better relationship with Morgan because, she knows us better. Like in the very beginning, when she was young, she used to cry when I'd come to pick her up. But it was like, yeah, because I don't get anything with her. She doesn't really know me, and that's not fair to me. It's not like I'm some bum that's not trying. I'm doing the dang best I can. So her not knowing me isn't a product of how I am. Her not knowing me is just because of you guys and how the court system's being. It has nothing to do with me. So anyhow, this situation right now with them not being able to see Morgan, though, to a certain degree is like a win. Because it's like, okay, they can't see Morgan, which also means that consequently, I'd say a lot of the rest of the family can't. Why? Because if some of the other families saw Morgan, then that means her parents could be around. She doesn't want her parents to see them, so that means the rest of the family can't see them. So to a certain degree, I'm like, you know what? This is a win for me. F you all, because I am able to go to court, and I am able to get something. And I'm never going to be denied, no matter how much her mom tries to pull some kind of crap. I mean, there's a court order in place right now that's already going to make it hard for her to try to pull anything like that on me. And really, all I'd have to do is go to court and be like, yeah, she's violating this. And then she goes to prison. Well, maybe not prison. Isn't that a little harder? She'd go to jail, like a holding cell for the night or something. But still, you know what I mean? Like, look who, yeah. I mean, yeah, so it's like, yeah, who's winning now? You only got to win before by default. But now you all are crippling down, and I'm still here going strong. And you can't F with me. The other thing, too, is it's just like, I feel like I've more than proven myself. They've always looked down on me. And where am I always at? I'm always there for her. My daughter. I'm always there. Every visit I'm supposed to have with her, I'm there. The only times I skip a visit is either A, if I'm sick, B, if she's sick, which I skip if she's sick because I think about when I'm sick. And I'm like, well, I just want to be home in bed doing nothing. So I'm like, I don't want to go and pick her up. Like, you know, if anything, I'll come over and hang out with her at her mom's while she's in bed. I've done that before when she was smaller, just so that she doesn't have to get up. She can just stay in bed and be comfy, and I'm just there sitting with her, maybe watching a movie with her. But otherwise, I don't get her then. And I also don't get her if the weather's crappy. Mostly just like wintry conditions, you know. So that's really the only kind of crappy weather we have around here. It's not like we have hurricanes or tornadoes or whatever. Not to jinx anything, but it's mostly just snow and maybe ice. Then I skip, because obviously that's kind of dangerous. I mean, is it worth it for me to crash my car and then injure myself or her or just my car in general? Now what? I don't have a car because I want to, I mean, there's nothing wrong with me wanting to see her, but still, then what happens down the line? Now I miss more visits because I don't have a car to get to her. So, you know, it always just ends up being like, okay, well, skipping this one is the safer, smarter choice. You know, there's always another day I can see her and everything stays okay. I don't get hurt, she don't get hurt, my car doesn't get damaged. So that's the only times I skip, but that's reasonable. You know, if it ever went to court, like, oh, he skipped these times, it'd be like, yeah, well, there's reasons for it. I didn't just skip because I was like, no, I don't want to see her. I want to be alone today. Like, that would never happen. So anyways, yeah, it's like, yeah, so F you. You all thought I'd be a loser and not be there. And who's been there? Me. And whenever possible, which isn't very often, unfortunately, but still, I do try to get more time when I can. Like recently on Thanksgiving, I watched them for the day because her mom and James had to work, and I didn't. So when her mom got home, I was ready to go, but Morgan didn't want me to go, so we went downstairs and we played some board games, and then I left a little later. Once it got dark, you know, it was getting dark around, 4:30 or so during those days, so I was like, all right, I'll go home now. And she didn't want me to, but I was like, well, what are we going to do now? We can't play outside anymore. It's getting dark. Like, you guys are going to be eating dinner. It's okay. I'll go home. I'll see you on... I think I saw her that weekend anyways. I was like, don't worry. I'll see you Saturday anyways. Like, it's not that big a deal. Oh, no, it couldn't have been Thanksgiving because she's with me on Thanksgiving afterwards. So maybe it was that Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. Or Wednesday. No, that's what it was. It was Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. So yeah, I was like, I'll see you tomorrow anyways. Like, calm down. You don't have to get upset that I'm leaving. I mean, I'll see you in less than 24 hours, so... But anyhow, yeah. So, for me, it's almost like a win to a certain degree. It's a crappy win, but still, it's like, yeah, good. Y'all looked down on me? Well, huh. But anyways, what else was I trying to say? I went on a tangent there. Kind of forgot. Dang it. Talking about the win. Talking about seeing her. Oh, yeah, and that's the other thing, too. My daughter prefers me over, like, anyone else anyways. Like, she sometimes, I can't say she outright says it, but she's very subtle with how she goes about it, but it's just kind of like, yeah, okay. You know, that she prefers me. And it's understandable why she'd prefer to spend her time with me and be happier with me than at her mom's or anything. A is because I do everything with her. Like, literally everything. If she's watching TV, I'm sitting there watching whatever she's watching with her. If she wants to play Minecraft, I'm playing Minecraft with her. If she wants to, like in the summer, she wants to go for, there's a train track near where I live, and she wants to walk the tracks. So I'm figuring, okay, well, not now. It gets, it's kind of chilly. It gets dark early. So I'm like, in the summer, maybe we can do this, like on a Sunday. We can get up early enough, go for the walk, come back, but it'll be a whole day because I've done it before. It's 3 hours. So there's a Target a couple towns over. That would be our final destination, walk to that Target. So it takes about 3 hours to get there. It's actually a little more. I didn't walk to the Target the last time I did. There's a different area that you can stop at. It took 3 hours to get there, but the Target's probably only another 15 minutes. So 3 hours and 15 minutes to get there, and then 3 hours and 15 minutes to get back. So you're looking at 6.5 hours of just walking. So, if we left at like 10 in the morning, we'd be back by like 4:30, which that's an all-day thing. But, well, that would be if we just walked there and came back. I'm sure we'd do something at Target and find somewhere to sit. Hopefully COVID's kind of settled by then, because in that Target they do have Starbucks and there's some seating, so maybe we could just sit there for a little bit and kind of relax. So, but anyways, it's something she wants to do. But still, I'll do it with her. Okay, you want to do this? Sure, why not? But my point is, I just do everything with her. And a lot of the times, the majority of the times I should say, everything is up to her what we do. I always leave it up to her. I say, what do you want to do? Because I want to make sure that whatever we do, she'll have fun. It's, even though it's my time with her, at the end of the day, it's really her time with me. You know what I mean? So I want it to be as best as it can be. So I'm not going to come up with plans like, hey, how about we do this? I want her to say, hey, I want to do this. I want to do this. Because there's opportunities with me that she doesn't have with her mom. Like, for one, I'll let her watch TV all day. I don't care. I feel like it's a waste of a day. But hey, if that's what she wants to do, that's what we'll do. I know her mom is a little more rigid on that. I think she only lets her watch TV at night. So if she wanted to watch TV all day, let's do it. Or, like I said, Minecraft. Her mom doesn't let her play video games. Well, that's what the overall idea is, that her mom doesn't let her play video games. But I know she does play some games on her tablet. So I don't really know what the context is. I guess it's just she's not going to buy her an actual home console. Well, I like video games, and I have home consoles, and so we play some games together. We play Mario Kart, we play Nicktoons Racing, we play Minecraft. It's fun, and it's something to do together, and she'll remember it. I remember playing games when I was a kid with my dad. It's fun, and it probably makes better memories than doing it with friends. I think I remember more of the times that I played games with my dad than I remember playing with friends or even my brother. So, if that's what she wants to do, if she wants to play Minecraft for 6 hours straight, we'll play Minecraft for 6 hours straight, which sounds stupid, but we have done it before. I'm pretty sure the longest we've ever done was like 7 hours straight of just Minecraft. It was ridiculous, but I think it was on Christmas Day. We played from like 1 in the afternoon till 8 in the afternoon. Or evening, I guess. Well, it wouldn't have been Christmas Day. I have her on Christmas Eve, so it would have been Christmas Eve. She opened her presents, and then we just played Minecraft. But yeah, that's what she wanted to do, so that's what we did. So there's that. And then also, like, I'm more like, how do I put this? I don't want to say loving towards her, but like, there's a lot of little things that I do that are like loving gestures towards her as well. Like every picture that she's ever colored with me or for me, I save them all. I have two binders, 2 3-ring binders full. I have a couple pages in the second one that I got to fill up, and then that one's full, and I need to buy a third one. And I save them all. And so, like, that's something that she likes to do for me, is she'll be at her mom's, but she draws me pictures. She doesn't draw any for her mom, because her mom just throws them away. Where me, they go on the fridge. They're on the fridge for 2-3 months, and then I put them in the binder. So, like, she knows that those pictures matter. She can put a lot of effort in. Like, she's drawn me a couple comic books even, and they matter because I'm going to keep them. She knows that she's not going to put all this effort in and I'm going to throw it away. It's going to be on the fridge for 4 months, and then after I take it off the fridge, it's going to go in my binder, and I'm going to have it forever. So, like, there's that I do for her. Or, like I've said before, when we go to the park, as long as there's no other kids there, I'll play with her on the playscape. We do all these stupid games. We did one game before where when she was into PJ Masks a couple of years back, she would be Romeo and I'd be the robot. And, I'd have to, she would tell me what I'm supposed to do and I'd be the dumb robot and do it. And And what else? On Saturdays, I let her stay up kind of late. Not super late, but, 10:30, sometimes 11 if we're watching a movie. Because the way I see it is, yeah, it might seem irresponsible. She's 8. She should be in bed earlier. But I'm like, at the same time, what do we got to do? She's with me tomorrow, Sunday. And, I don't care when she gets up. If she doesn't get up until 10 in the morning, who cares? Whatever. She got to stay up, and now let her sleep in. Whatever. Who's it affecting? Nobody. We're having a good night together. We're having a good morning together. Whatever. There's no need to be rigid. Oh, you need to go to bed at 8. So then you can get up at 8. Yeah, during the week, I won't do that because it's different. Obviously, we have to get up. I'm not just going to be, yeah, it's okay. You want to stay up till midnight? That's cool. I mean, sometimes it would be nice because that's when I go to bed, so it'd be kind of cool just to stay up together. But I know that's very irresponsible. I mean, I do kind of get a little casual. We'll sometimes go to bed at 9:30 or 10 on a Thursday, and I'm like, 10's pushing it, but still, that's kind of once in a while. And again, it's like we're watching a movie, and the thing's just going on and on, like a long movie, like Incredibles 2, and I'm like, dang it, when's this thing gonna end? But yeah, so there's that. And what else do I know that she prefers me for? I joke around a lot. And I'm more loving. I know her mom just yells at her a lot and has too many rules. And then I also know, at her mom's as well, her mom makes her play with her brother, which she doesn't like to. Her brother is annoying and he's a sore sport at everything. And I get it. I understand why she wouldn't want to play with him. I've played with him once, and it was just wow, I don't ever want to play with this kid ever again. So I'm I can only imagine how she feels having to do it every single day. And, her mom makes her play with him. Even if, the cousin comes over. The cousin's a girl, they like to play together. But no, they have to include the boy. And then, so it's just kind of unattractive and annoying. So I know when she comes over to my place, it's for her, it's a break. It's a chance to be away from that. It's a chance to... You know what I mean? It's just me who's laid back and calm and not going to be yelling at her and having all these dumb rules and regulations. And that's it. No annoying brother, no nothing. So anyway, yeah, that's all I'm trying to say is, she's just happier with me anyways. So all these times I had to deal with everybody giving me a hard time about everything and looking down on me. And it's yeah, look where we are now. She prefers me. And who's losing now? All of you. So F off. So I guess that's it now. Man, this thing was 3 parts. Well, it's not really 3 parts. I'm going to put it together into one. But man, it took 3 days to say this. I didn't realize it would be so long. When I first started recording in the very beginning, I thought that would be it. I was thinking about as I was driving. I was like, man, there's some stuff to say, but not that much. But holy crap, this went on forever. Anyway, that's it. Do I have an idea of what my next one will be? I did, but I have so many ideas for these that I always end up forgetting which one I want to do next. So next one will be a surprise, I guess. And until then, you already know, I said see ya.